Greetings Internet, welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. This is a continuation of my playthrough of Scenario 5 from 6th Fleet. Scenario 5 is called Aegean Offensive, and it's an opposed playthrough using Vassal logs. Now, turns 1 and 2 I've already done. That's actually uploaded a couple of weeks ago, well actually probably a month ago. So I've now converted the log files for turns 3 and 4, and that's what I'm bringing today. So I'm playing the Soviets, Harri is playing the NATO forces, and well, what we actually got to do, I'm briefly going to go back over the victory conditions of this scenario to let you know what we're actually trying to do. Essentially, NATO is trying to get forces into and around Lemnos. Okay, so the US player, NATO, well, I suppose they are just purely US, receives victory points for getting his surface units into the Aegean Sea Zone. New Jersey and the Mitts are worth 2 victory points, and each other US surface unit is worth 1 victory point. And the US player receives double the amount of victory points for each surface unit that ends the last game turn in Lemnos. And the 6 hexes surrounded. So he's got to get into the Aegean Sea, and he'll get 1 victory point per ship, or 2 for the Nimitz and the New Jersey. Nimitz is in this hex here, and currently New Jersey's way over here. So he's got a long way to go for that particular unit. It's a 10-turn scenario, and as I say, we're just about to do turn 3 and 4 in this particular video. So without any further of me waffling on, oh yes, I should mention, in the previous video and also the learning video that I did for scenarios 1 to 4, I went into quite a lot of crunch with the rules. I'm not going to do that in this video. I'm going to just narrate it, play through it. As I say, it's using Vassal log files. So if you're wanting some more crunch, go back to episode 1 of this scenario, which is turns 1 and 2. Or go to the other 4 learning videos where I go into quite a bit of crunch on the combat results table, where I get the figures from and such forth. In the actual log file that's coming up here, you will see the numbers. I will discuss them, but I'm not going to keep bringing up tables and such forth, because it generally just slows the video down. If you're still here, could you hit the like button? It all helps the channel, and subscribe if you haven't done so already, and also remember to do the notification bell, which lets you know when I load up another video. And as always, comments much appreciated. Anyway, let's get on. So over here he's got we're starting turn 3, and that's what we're recording on here. Well, I suppose turn 3 is not showing on there, is it? Where is that turn marker? Probably right over here, isn't it? There it is. Okay, so starting at turn 3. Okay. So keeping my cap the same, assuming the same with you. So yeah, each turn your cap lands, and then next turn the cap takes off again. So we're keeping the same cap forces. So I am going to show what they currently are. We have on here the cap for the US is a couple of interceptors, F-14s, and the airborne early warning. And the Soviets is not as impressive as that. It is 1 Y-36, what yak, isn't it? Y is a yak. Yeah, it's not a great ship. That's flying above the Minsk. So, yeah, not much of an airborne threat, but I suppose it is an aircraft of some kind. Right. Also, turn 3 is a night turn, but it's not really impacting this scenario as much. So, rolling for the first activity cycle. So, on its 2 is US. Even it's the US. Odd, it's the Soviets. We'll start with subs, is what Harri's declaring, and then he moves his subs. Now, on the actual cycle here, This is where you get to track the 6 activation cycles that we're going through. Okay, to more subs moving across the Tyrian Sea zone there. 9 ASW on the Ibrez, so he's attacking an adjacent ship which he's detected. Roll is a 3, which is not enough. No, never mind that. It's on the 9 column. It is enough. The Ibrez was already damaged, as you can tell. It's got a D side there. It's now sunk, and no detection happens since the victim got sunk. Okay, current losses for each of us is here. As you can see. Continue over to you. So as I say, these are swapping files. The light blue is Harri, the dark blue is me. So I've gone, hi Harri, cannot see a darn thing. That's pretty true. I haven't detected anything, or what I have detected I've already sunk. He's got a few things that he's detected, but at the present moment I can't see anything. Might as well do my subs, as they've got nothing else really to do. They can float around trying to find his units, creating a cordon. But my subs are also quite slow. Rolling for next activation, rollers of 4. Now we've been doing this module, or this scenario, not using the Vassal dice. We've been using the Warhorse Simulations dice roll modifier. I personally don't like the axe dice, and it seems to be a lot better. If I can use real dice when I'm playing by myself and my solo games, I use real dice, as you know if you watch my channel. But obviously on play by email can't really do that, so we use a different dice generator, which I say is the Warhorse Simulations. And yeah, I'm quite happy with the results that gives. I've never been happy with the Vassal die roll bot. So hi Aaron, he's been to a convention, very nice for him. He's forgotten what his plan was. That's good. All right, so he decides to do surface. Has he been marking them on here? He has. So you can see these markers are filling up the 6 activations of a turn. Okay. And you can see his surface fleet moving here. Now this Task Force 1 has got the Nimitz in there. Let's have a quick look at Task Force 1. Can I bring that up even closer? There we go. Of course I can. Of course I can. Right. And the stacking is in the order from this side, so from the right. So that's the top of the stack. And the Nimitz is, well, passed right through. The importance of the stacking is a ship that gets attacked gets the close defense of the ship that's directly underneath it. So if I attack the Nimitz, he'll get the area AA of all of the counters and the close AA of the Nimitz itself and the California. Similarly, if I attack the Mahan, he'll get all the area AA and he'll get the close AA, which is the number closest to the letters of the 2, and then the 5 from the digress, whatever that is abbreviated to. And I said I wasn't going to go into crunch. I'm doing it already. Can't stop myself. Can't stop myself. Anywho, and they're moving, approaching the Aegean Sea, and then he moves these other surface ships. Task Force 2, that's the one with the New Jersey. Okay, he's got 4 ships in it. Oh, I didn't realise the Biddle also had, you see this little symbol on it here? That's a cruise missile, and we are using cruise missile rules in this. So Texas has got one in Task Force 1, and the New Jersey and the Biddle, and I'm going to the BIDDL, wherever that's not abbreviated to, they have cruise missiles. Interesting. Okay, but the Devo, or the DEO, is not part of the task force, because task forces can only be created in turns the AM turn, and this is, I say, the PM turn. No, this is the night turn. You've got an AM turn, PM turn, and a night turn. And task forces are created only in the AM turn. So, and there they move between Corsica and Sardinia. Back to the Soviets. Hi, Harry. As I have not detected Americans by air, as I have not detected Americans, my air stay at base and have a nice party and rest. So I just move my air into there, so effectively it's a pass for my air. Can't attack it if you can't see it. So the activation roll is a 6, so it's NATO. And he does his air activation. Cannot hit Spezza or Neyes. They're my submarines. Okay, which are Vassal PBEM is there. And I'm not quite sure whether the other one that he's trying to find is. Oh, it's over there. So cannot hit the Spezza or the Nezin with my S3. And the surface task force are a bit out of range still. So a pass. Your surface then. Okay. Or my surface. There they go. Moving down the bottom there. Closing in. Trying to, we're not going to stop them getting into the Aegean Sea with Task Force 1. It's too close. But if I damage it, it's at the end of turn 10 that he gets the victory point. So every strip I can sink from Task Force 1. I don't think I'm going to get the Nimitz. It's very hard to take out a US carrier. So as I have detected nothing, I've said anything, as I have detected there is no attack. So I haven't detected anything, can't attack. Terminal cycle. Right, so at the end, so we've finished all the activations. So that should have actually come across there at that point. So we then go into the terminal phase, ending the actual turn of turn 3. All the strat air is returned. Detections are removed. So all my ships are now invisible, and we're going to go through. I'm also going to keep my cap as it is for turn 4, and we go into game turn 4. Using a marker to show that there are 10 turns. Strategical cycle. Random events. So there's a random events table. Weather roll is clear. Command and control roll for Soviet allies, none involved, so no command and control issues. US satellite recon, roll over 3, he gets 0 satellite recon. Soviet satellite recon, roll of 4, I get to recon something. Soviet satellite actually works. I'm going to see somebody. That means I can attack it. And I placed it on the Task Force 2 with New Jersey. Okay. Going for the task force if I cannot do both in the same hex. Task Force 2, my strat air will do as a note. So what I've done, again, you can do this in Vassal, because when you're playing face to face with an actual map board, you can plan your strat air bar behind a little screen if you want to put a screen up, or behind your hand or whatever. A bit difficult to do that on Vassal, so you create these notes, or I've created a note, which you'll see appear in a moment. I thought it would do. My strat air will do as noted. Delay for turn 4. What if I now bring it back up? Yeah, it's not there. Okay. It was a moment ago when I copied this, but all right. Fair enough. I might as well do my strat air openly, since you are committed to yours via the hidden note, right? Okay. So the strat air, we're using these little diagrams here, which are directly copied from the map, and you place your strategical air on that display. What I've done is, so I put mine in a note. I'm not sure why it's not appearing on here. Scenario, public, private, delayed. Because when I definitely saved it, but it's not appearing in the log. But he got it, so okay. So he's putting the two P3s from Palermo, who cannot activate yet, will do reconnaissance on Mediterranean and RCN on the central Mediterranean. So he's effectively covering here. The F-16 from Palermo will do intercept, so he's trying to stop me doing strategical air. The S-3 from Nimitz will do the RCN on the eastern Mediterranean. What I'll do is, as we go through the log, you'll see these actual aircraft. I'll bring them to the map. Yep, that seems sensible. Back to you to resolve things. To speed up things, my RCN will spot both your surface task force on the eastern Med, the submarine ESNED in the central Med, and the Savisa in the Mediterranean Z zone. Okay, assuming all those go through, of course. Hi, Harry. Bit confused. You say Palermo. Okay. Wonder if that note's now come up. Still hasn't. Interesting. Okay. So, are we talking? Basically, I was trying to work out where his air's coming from. My revealed note. Now is it there? Come on, it must be. It's not. Not sure what's happening there, because I know when I was actually going through all the log files, it was there. But anyway, RCN, that's the reconnaissance from Benghazi, which, if I hide the pieces, yeah, strat recon into the central Mediterranean. So I actually bring them through onto there. Mining in central Mediterranean, trying to mine to stop his ship, and there'll be a little bit of debate about the mining as we go through the scenario. Trying to mine, and then we bring his aircraft into the situation. As you can see, he's got different aircraft doing the recon. And this interceptor here is going to have a little word with my aeroplanes. Done his detections as he sends. Right, we then have what's called a bounce segment, where he is trying to stop me doing any recon here. And I have 2 units on recon and 1 unit on mining. This is what I'm saying to him. So your F-16, can it attack both missions or just one aircraft? Please resolve. So I wasn't sure if he attacked the whole lot or whatever mission they're on. Turns out you can attack the whole lot. So the F-16's bounce the reconnaissance on the central Mediterranean. So it turns out you can only do the reconnaissance. Works out the odds is 8 minus 2. It's looking at his combat value on that aircraft, which is next to the int. It says 8, and my reconnaissance is 2. So you can only do, if he had 2 aircraft, that's right, if he had 2 F-16s, one could have gone for the one mission, one could have gone for the other mission. Works out odds are 3 to 1. Your roll is a 1, so the result is 0-0. It's the only thing. Back to you to continue. And as I said there, they got through. On the air combats table, I can presume I can bring that up. Where's the combat results table? No, it's not there. AA. Air-to-air combat results table. Cat bounce 3 to 1. Anything but a 1, you'd have sent me back. But he rolled a 1, they got through. Phew! Okay, if you'd rolled 2, which would have been a 0-1R result, would that have damaged 1 step but returned all of them? I placed this counter here to show where I want to place the mine. I couldn't find the mine counter at all. So I've placed that arrow to show there's a mine in that hex. And put all the strategical aircraft away. Stepping through, and I've detected that ship task force there and that task force there with my recon aircraft. That got, well, they got through, yeah. Activity phase. I think both the caps are the same since last time. Yeah, we're not no need to change caps unless something gets shot down or we want to use the aircraft in attack mode. And the Soviet one is just not strong enough to go into attack mode. And the US, well, I have got a powerful air force sitting over here as Sevastopol. So he does need to keep his cap up. Action phase. Roll of 5, Soviets first. What to do? It's always the eternal question, isn't it? What to do? First of all, then we should actually move these back. We're into turn 4, aren't we? Boom. Right. There. I'm going to start with an airstrike, as I now can see something to attack. And I fly them from Sevastopol to here to attack the New Jersey, or the task force around the New Jersey. Range to hex is 24, so that's from 24 hexes from there to Sevastopol. The range of these aircraft is 60. I will let you reorganize your task force, as I assume the Deo will be in there. Turns out it's not. I then will fire 50 on the middle, 50 on the Merrill, and 50 on the Deo. Each of the attack T-16s have, as you can, if you see the two numbers on the left, no, the right of the SO, which stands for Soviet, 50, and then a 4. It's got a range of 4, attack value of 50 for each of them. So that's 50 on each of those ships. I'm going to launching. The other one there, the one that's got EW, electronic warfare, will weaken the enemy anti-aircraft. I've asked him, Harri, to resolve, because he might want to change his stacking. And he managed to find the mine counter. So resolving the attack on the Deo. 5 close AA, but he gets the area AA support from the task force, so it's not part of the task force. Area AA equals 6 for a total of 11. Roll is 4, so defense is -4. The attack roll is a 3. Like I say, well, these are all being done on the Warhorse simulation. -4 defense, -2 for no adjacent surface. What that actually means, because I've got no ships adjacent to his surface ships, my airstrikes are a little less accurate, so they take that additional -2. Right, 2 damage. So the Deo gets flipped. I would need to do 3 damage to sink it. Then the attack on the task force itself. Again, the area AA, same 6, close AA, 2 + 5 + 4, 11 total for 17. So he's quite high on the table for AA. Defense roll of 3, +2 for task force equals 5. Okay, defense is -5 on the strike. Attack rolls are both 6. I rolled 2 6s, or Warhorse simulations rolled 2 6s for me. -5 defense, and then -2 for no adjacent, makes a net -1 as a result. 3 damage on both. They are sunk. That was a nice result. Okay, which then moves them to the Soviet kills, which at that point means the ships are returned to the map, because you need a minimum of 4 ships in a hex to be classed as a task force. So, as Harri puts it there, task force dissolves. Don't think you could have more air units, but passing it back to check. Yeah, I don't have any more airstrikes. Hi, Harri. Return in the air, and they go back to Sevastopol, and mutual backslapping among the air crew upon their return to Sevastopol. Where was the mine counter? After he placed it, I then went, where did he find it? And then I could find it. Don't know. Okay, back to Harri. Right, hi, Aaron. I missed that the attack had an EW craft. With the attack, would have knocked down area AA for each unit by 1. Don't think it changed anything. No, it didn't. Okay. Harri's then activating his air. So air are coming in thick and fast for both sides. Okay, he's organising an airstrike and placing them on his carrier. The F-18s are an int roll, so they're interceptor roll. So their bomb values are 0, but their anti-air value is active. So they're at full anti-aircraft values. So those F-18s, he's got 2 of them. Their attack against my aircraft will be 7s, but they have 0 bombs. And the other one there, the A6, that does have 50 bombs, and or 50, which is next to the US, the SSM value, surface missiles, and they're coming with an EW as well to mitigate against the cap. Okay, and in they come. Now he's 4 hexes away from the task force. My cap can intercept at that point. It's not that very effective at that range, but it does give me the opportunity to do so. Also, a side note, on the physical map, this hex side is passable. So he's talking about this hex here. It's passable. On this map, it isn't. So this is why we're having a debate about the mines. I think your mine assumes it is not as per the map on this module. That's correct, because I want him to go through the mines. There's only one mine, so for every ship that goes through that mine, he rolls a die roll on a 1, because there's only one mine in there, it becomes damaged. So that's what I thought. That was a cunning plan. Maybe not. Mines can only be placed on coastal hexes, so I guess we have to say the Peloponnesian extends to that hex. That's what I thought it did. You know, there's a slight little bit of a lump there. That's why I placed it there. Has some impact on this scenario since there is an X amount of turns to reach Lemnos, because his other option obviously is to move around it, which takes him a bit of time. But back to the cap decision. Hi Harry, I will move the mine counter so there's no debate. I did look at the map, and he is quite, the actual physical map, he is quite correct, and we are using if there's a slight discrepancy, use the real map, because they've probably designed the scenarios based on the real map. In playtesting, of course these games were heavily playtested, so the mine is actually, to be honest, a bit pointless, because if it's placed in that hex, he would just go 1, 2, 3, 4. If it's placed in that hex, he can just go around it in anyway. That's why I thought that was a good point, because he can go around it, but it would take him just that little fraction longer. We'll leave it there, floating around. We've got a Soviet mine there. Okay. At that range at 4, I'm not using my cap. And then I asked the question, if your F-18s are carrying bombs, do they still have their full air-to-air combat value effect? They don't. Yep, the F-18s need to declare if they are in attack mode or interceptor mode when they activate. Determine if they have an AA or combat value. Mine are an intercept role, so AA, so anti-aircraft armed. And then he's moved to 3 hexes. Another cap ask. Now, we're actually exchanging emails at this point as well, saying, you know, because it's a log file to say, are you going to actually intercept at this point? Slow the game down a bit. But there's not that much error in this one. But when we actually get to play the full campaign, yeah, we might have to work out a different methodology. So, hi, Harry. No cap involvement yet. Back to him. He moves them 2 hexes away. Okay, I'm close enough to launch SSMs, these 2 hexes. I decided that using the Yak to fight that phenomenal air power of the F-18s, I thought, no, I'll use the cap to try and shoot down the SSMs that are coming in. I think the stack was already in order. My stack was in order. Looks logical at least. So all 50 SSMs to the Ottlich. So let's have a look at my... that's a turn marker. My task force. That one. There we go. And zoom that in as well. Okay. So he's trying to strike this ship here. So it's got no support behind it because it's the last ship. Tail end Charlie. And then area AA is 4 + 4 + 5. So on the actual, this part I'm going to do a little bit of crunch into. Okay, there you go. So on the numbers on the ships, the number closest to the letters is the close AA value, and the number furthest is the area AA value. So the area is 4 plus 4 plus 5, so all of them count. So 5 from the Minsk, 4 from the Azov, and 4 from the Otlik itself. With EW craft comes down to 334. Each one of those goes down by 1 point. Then close AA 4, because it doesn't have any other support up behind it, for a total of 14 AA. Roll is a 4, plus 2 for the task force equals a 6. You get a plus 2 modifier for task forces. I think that's actually replicated on the counter. It is, you can see task force 1, little plus 2 underneath it. So a -5 with a further -2 for not having a spotter is a total of -7. So yeah, the defense roll gives minus modifiers to the attack, and because again, just like my airstrike, he hasn't got a surface unit adjacent to my ships, therefore he takes a -2 because it's slightly less accurate. So his net modifier is going to be -7. Attack roll is a 5. -7 is net -2, which is exactly 3 damage to sink. So looking at the combat results table, so yes, I'm doing a little bit of crunch on this particular attack, just to show. Let's bring that table up. Oh, where is it? There it is. Okay, so you've got the defense rolls here. All right, and what we actually had, so roll is a 4, and it then says +2 for task force makes it 6. Okay, we look along there, and my defense was 14, 9 to 14 down the column there. It's a -5. Okay, which is what was written there. So -5 with a further -2 for not having SSM spotter, net -7. Attack roll is then 5, and then he takes 7 off that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 takes you to -2. However, he does have an attack strike of 50. So 46 to 57, 3, which is exactly 3 damage to sink. And that's how the combat results table works, ladies and gentlemen. So the Otlik is sunk. Bit rude, isn't it? And his aircraft then returned. Right, I forgot if this P3 can activate or not. Move 2 there, but cannot remember if those 2 are the ones on strats. They're not. I think, not sure, but labelling counters will be awesome in this module. Agreed. If you right-click something, there's no labelling on the counters. It's something I might actually put in. If I remember how to change a module, modify a module, that's it. I have to go back to older vlogs to check. So he does. Yes, turns out I did exactly as I hoped I did. And move the P3s who cannot activate are the ones on the strat air. So this P3 is free to take a shot at the task force without cap. So here it comes. Doop-de-doo-be-doo. Flying at a leisurely pace. No rush. And again, he's got a 20 SSM value with at a range of 2. And as I've got no cap, I can't intercept it. So 20 SSMs onto the Zovrib. So he's attacking Tail End Charlie on this one. Not nice. And again, so the area AA value is 4 plus 6 plus 4 equals 14. Close AA is 4 for a total of 18. Roll is 2. Plus 2 from the task force is 4, so it's a net -4 modifier. So remember, that's going to subtract from his attack. Attack roll is a 3, -4 for the defense, and an additional -2, because again, he's still not got any adjacent surface units. Is the result equals -3, 0 damage. That's it all for the air. Next activation roll is 5, so back to the Soviets. Hi, Harry. Though it made no difference, you missed my cap shooting down missiles on the first airstrike. And again, it didn't make any difference. I then adjusted my task force because he's sunk the 2 ships, so I just moved them back one. But there's still 2 task force in being because they've both got 4 or more ships in them. I then said, well, let's play around with subs, shall we? Soviet subs. Some of these are so slow. If you look at that, the Pskov, Pskov, saying it carefully. Okay, 2-6 on the top value. 6 is its defense value. The 2 is its movement. 2 hexes. Whereas we look at this submarine here, and they has 5 movement. It's a Soviet nuclear sub, whereas that one is a diesel, but still, wow. Okay, what I'm trying to do with my subs here is again create a cordon. The plan is to eliminate all the this task force completely. Well, it's no longer a task force. Sink the New Jersey, sink out all the ships there, so he's only going to get the victory points for the Nimitz task force. That's my plan. Yes, I have a plan. As you can see, my subs are moving to intercept that particular plan. And back to Harry. So, hi Aaron. You are right about missing +1 from Cap. Remember that was only for the F-14s. We'll do the subs as well. So his subs are coming forward. He doesn't get anything for sinking any of my ships. No victory points or anything like that. But more ships he sinks of mine, the less ships I have to do damage to him. Next activation. It's a 5, so back to the Soviets. Alright, Soviet surface then. Okay. Minsk has an SSM value of 8. So let's have a look how I get that. So the Minsk has that ship there. Okay, SSM value of 8, and it's got a range of 6. None of the other ships can support it, so it's going to be a solo strike. And we'll fire at the bottom of the stack, which should be the Barney. Is it the Barney? Let's have a look. It is the Barney. Right. With SSMs. Okay, AA area 15 plus close AA2 equals 17 plus 2 F-14s on cap, because they shoot down missiles as well. Defense roll is +2 because they're in the task force. The roll is a 3, which equals a 5. Defense is -5, therefore. Tech, therefore, at -7 at no surface, as no surface unit adjacent. There's no hope. They're not getting through. No point. It wasn't even worth rolling the dice. Okay. I need to get a bit more strength and closer. Over to the Harri. All right. He moves. So he's into the Aegean with his first task force. Assuming we allow crossing over those hexes, which we did. I think in the physical map, those are open. I don't have the map myself, but as I said, I'd already checked that. Okay. Technically, there is a cap landing phase, but I am keeping mine up. So as there's no point, because we're now into we just moved those all out of the way. We've just completed turn 4. You can adjust yours on your log if you wish. And we're then into turn 5, which we're not going to do in this video. So let me say that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a fair bit of action. As I said, I didn't want to bring too much crunch, but I thought I had to show at least something. We've still got turn 5 and 6 will be in the next video. So if you did enjoy this, I know I said at the beginning, but if you did enjoy this and you're still here, please hit the like button. It definitely helps the channel. And if you dislike the video, let me know why. You know, what could I have done different or better? Do you want more crunch, or do you like it in the more narrative style that I use for this? Any comments will be much appreciated. Tell me if you've got this game. Have you played this scenario? How did you find it? And I mean, I'm finding it a little bit tricky as the Soviets, because they don't have that US Air Force in the Nimitz. I'm a bit worried to actually engage it, but maybe I will do in the later term. This game was actually finished a couple of months ago now. Me and Harri are actually working our way through scenario 6. which I'll also bring to the channel because eventually I want to get to one of the campaigns and start bringing logistics and such forth into it. So yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying Sixth Fleet. It's a game that I've been wanting to play for a long time and now playing it properly, and I hope you guys are enjoying it too. Is there anything else for me to say? Not really, other than play games, have fun. Bye, Internet. Now I've got to find the button to switch it off.